Shalom, this is your brother Samak with another lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Coming with another lesson today. I pretty much want to just quick, short to the point, want to talk about, pretty much observing your life around the truth. All right, building your schedule around the truth and not the truth around your schedule. All right, around your personal life, right? And it's a very simple concept to grasp. Yet it's not always the easiest thing to do because, a lot of times we have things going on in our lives, work, family, maybe, other commitments. Brothers might be a part of certain, organizations like sports or whatever. And if, it's easy to get lost in the sauce. Trust me, I know from experience. It's easy to get lost in the sauce. And this is something even to this day I'm working on. So as I do this lesson, I'm building on myself. And at the same time, I'm giving this edification to your brothers and sisters that you may be edified, Lord willing. So basically, it's easy to get, caught up in the, it's easy to get caught up in just the sequence of life that sometimes you forget to prioritize the Lord's work, right? Because Yahweh Shai said, what? I'm about my Father's business, right? So we have to be about Yahweh Shai's business. And Yahweh Shai was what? Yahweh Shai was about his Father's business, right? So we have to be about his business. And if we're not about his business, then guess what? We are about our own business and our own works. And you'll never have true success if you're focusing on your own works. All right. So let's you'll never be able to accomplish anything that you truly want to do, because when you're called to do this work, all right, you're called for a purpose beyond yourself. Right. Many are called, but few are chosen, right? So we're called, and we have a spirit that we want to be delivered, right? So you want to be chosen, so you have to do what? Scripture say, a few things, right? Put on as the elect, and also what? To study to show ourselves approved. So we have to do these things, right? It's a lot of scriptures, being returned, seeking 10 times more. You can never go far enough, right? So basically, when you come back, when you're called to this work, and you have the spirit that you want to be delivered, right? You don't want to be of this world. You want to be delivered, have salvation, so on and so forth. It takes action, it takes effort, right? So, and a lot of times, we'll have personal endeavors in the world that, we want to, it's nothing wrong with having endeavors in the world that you want to be successful at, because the scriptures say that whatever you do it to the Lord, right? Do what you might. So, in order for us to have much success, right? First and foremost in the truth, and second, in our personal lives, right? This is what we must do. And I'm going to build upon this. Just one scripture. I'm going to build upon it in the cross-reference. Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Exactly. And I want to go to 9 as well. It says, have I not commanded thee, be strong and of good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, thy God, is with thee whithersoever thou goest. All right. And that's the point, man. We have to meditate on this book, really outside of just the law, but we got to meditate on the whole role, right? The law, the prophecies, the history. We have to focus on all these things, because all of those things combined give us a full picture of our future. When you know your history, you know where you come from, so that means you know what you should strive for, right? You know your culture, your laws, your morals, right? Those are the things that you live by. Now, that's what you pretty much, you center your life around the law. Obviously, we know that we can't keep the law in its entirety. There, if that was the case, Yahweh Shai would have been sent down, right? But we still uphold the law as the scriptures say to do so, right? As Yahweh Shai have, as and many other prophets have prophesied that we should uphold the law. So we establish it We practice it, we rehearse the righteous acts, and we base our lives around it. And now, when you're a brother in this truth and you come, Salaki, if you can hear the noise in the background, it's my dryer. It's a little messed up. My cat was messing with it. But if you're in this call to serve the Most High and to do this work, right, to be a teacher, a shepherd, a bishop, whatever the case is, you have to remember that this is a greater call to action. And as the scripture say with in Luke the 12th chapter, maybe around the 46, 47 verse, it says, "Was much is given, much is required." All right. So when you have the responsibility of being a shepherd, a teacher, a prophet, you have that responsibility, man. It's a great reward that comes with it, but it's a lot more responsibility that has to come into play. And if you're not focused on that, then you lose sight of that. Guess what? You're not fit for the kingdom, as the scripture say. So let's go ahead and build upon that, right? We're gonna go. Psalms. This is one of the Psalms that I wanted to get. Let's get Matthew 12 and 35. It says, "A good man out of the good treasure of heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things." Right. So when a man is he has that good treasure, right? Going back into where your heart is, there is your treasure also. You're going to give effort and time and priority to those things, right? Regardless what it is. If it's a business, if it's a woman, if it's your children, if it's a hobby, anything that you treasure, you're going to give a lot of time and attention and effort. And we have to, again, and this is really more so going to you brothers that are teachers, but you can apply this even if you're not a teacher, or if you're a sister, you can apply this just to however it fits your lifestyle. Prioritizing the truth, right? Making your life be based around that. So for brothers that are in the camps, if you have camp on certain days, you base your life around that. Now, like with my camp, as most camps, we go to camp on Saturday. So I keep my Saturday afternoons completely open no matter what. It's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Under the rare occasions that I don't make camp on Saturday, which is probably far and few between, maybe once a year, if even that. It's usually for a reason. It's usually something that's already planned out weeks and months in advance, and I make up for it and, whatever. But me and the brothers, we usually go out 2 to 3 times a week anyway. So if I don't make it Saturday, I'm always going out during the week, maybe twice. But a lot of times we try to get out at least once during the week. Brothers got their own schedules, work, that stuff you can't really handle too much, but you can deal with everything else around it. So usually with brothers, we can get out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. And you pretty much just base it around that. So you have to have your heart set on the good things, which is the work of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. And then you'll have good success, man. So anything you want success in your life, you got to base the Lord first. And I'm learning this. Like, you have to focus on bettering yourself first and foremost in the eyes of the Lord. And that's going to come down to just killing certain vices, having more faith, praying more, fasting more, and showing an effort that you genuinely want to get more wisdom and knowledge. And usually when I've learned when you're reading more and you're studying more, you're able to produce more quality lessons. All right. So let's keep going. This is Psalms 1 and 2 and 3, chapter 1, verse 2 and 3. It says, "But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night." Right? The law going into the law, statutes, commandments, which is the way of living you should have. But you can also look at this like just being engulfed in the word itself. All right. Not just the law, because we're not law thumpers, but just the whole role. Just being engulfed in the word and the spirit itself, you'll naturally follow the law. Right? And it says, verse 3, it says, "And he shall be like a tree